guys, today I'm here to answer the question, is painted furniture dead? Is it over? Should we stop painting furniture? Is that out of style? Is that just a thing we should quit? Well, you know I'm gonna say no because I'm a painter, right? I mean, spoiler alert, I'm gonna say no, okay. But I'm also gonna tell you why and what you should be doing, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Amy, and like I said, I'm a painter. I do love to paint furniture, and I'm going to be talking about that today. But I also talk to a lot of you who are furniture flippers about, how to paint furniture to sell. And if you are that type of person, you want to check below in the description for my free furniture flip pricing worksheet. That just helps you kind of figure out how much you can afford to pay for something or how much to charge for something that you're trying to flip. So check that out in the description below. Okay, the question of painting furniture, to paint or not to paint. First, just quickly, I want to say there are going to be people out there who are never painters. There are people in the camp that know you should never paint a piece of furniture. It's a sin, it's horrible, you're ruining it. The furniture should only be, wood, stained, natural wood color, and if you do anything else to it, it's a mortal sin. And I respect that opinion. Please don't be too angry to me in the comments if you're in that camp. I understand, but I am in the camp that it's okay to paint furniture. It's okay to paint some furniture better than other furniture. And so one thing I would quickly recommend to you if you are thinking about painting a piece of furniture, whether it's to flip or whether to keep, is look at what you have, educate yourself a little bit. It's easier than ever to Google something and find out if it has value the way it is. And if it does, then maybe pass on that. Even if you really want to paint something, maybe you sell that to someone the way it is, don't paint it, and then you can make enough money to buy some other piece that is not as special or valuable and paint that piece. So I would recommend that you do that. Another thing is, respect the piece of furniture if it's a nice piece of wood. The older it is, the more likely it has value, and the more likely somebody eventually may still want to hang on to it and have it stripped and have it in the natural wood form again. So try to be kind to that when you're treating it, when you're painting it. If you cover it with a coat of shellac or something like that, that will help kind of protect the wood and separate it from the paint. So that's something you can do. It also blocks the tannins from seeping through if you put a coat of shellac on it in between the paint and the wood, and so it protects your painting project and also protects the wood on the other side. So keep that in mind. That's a kind thing to do if you think that someday down the road your grandchildren may want to strip this off when the styles have changed or something like that. That's a good way to do it. So my advice to you is that painted furniture is not dead, but especially if you want to sell furniture or paint it to flip, then it's in your best interest to know what is selling or what type of thing you should be painting or how you should be painting it. It's good for you to be educated and to know. So I'm going to tell you 3 things that you should do. Number 1 is find out what's selling, educate yourself. How do you do that? Number 1, look online and see what's selling in current, modern, stylish furniture stores, whichever kinds of furniture stores that you like or that people are buying nice furniture from. I'll show you some examples here of some current, trendy stores that are selling furniture that is painted. Not everything they're selling is painted, but they are selling even some new pieces that are painted. So it's still out there. It's still possible for things to be stylish that are painted. That's going to give you an idea of what is selling nationally. Another thing you can look at is an online consignment store like Cherish. That will give you more of a broad range of furniture, including antique pieces and things like that. And look for painted pieces and you can kind of see what's still selling and what it's selling for. Then the next thing to do is to find out a little more about what's selling locally. I would recommend that you go to local furniture stores and even consignment stores. I have a consignment store near me that the main bulk of what they sell is things that have been pulled out of kind of some high-end model homes in the neighborhoods. We have a lot of growth and a lot of homes being built here in North Texas, and so those are things that a designer has put into a model home very recently, and now they've been pulled out to resell because they're still almost new. And so that's a good chance for me to see a lot of different things that are selling that are being put in homes by designers recently. So something like that, seeing what's selling in your area, is a good chance to check locally. And then the third thing you want to do is go on something like Facebook Marketplace and kind of start tracking what's selling and how much it's selling for. This is the most useful to you if you're going to want to sell things, to find out like how much should you even sell it for. So what you want to do is go into Facebook Marketplace in your area and start just looking for things like what you think you may sell, painted dresser, or whatever kind of thing you think you would dresser, whatever you think you may want to sell. Just bookmark it or click that bookmark to save it. Start saving those things, and over time it'll show you when they sold, how much they sold for. You just need to start kind of checking in every few days and following some of those things so that you kind of start to get a feel for what's selling and how much it's selling for. And if the person had to mark it down, you don't know exactly. The person may have sold it for less once the buyer actually came. They may have negotiated a lower price. But if they have to mark it down online before they sell it, it'll also show you that. It'll be crossed out and show you that it was marked down to a different price. So that's very informative, and that's really important for you to start doing if you're wanting to sell some things, so you have an idea of how much to ask for it and what your chances are of selling that thing. All right, what I recommend for step 2 is decide what's best for you, because there are different types of furniture that sell in different areas. You can probably sell more than one type of furniture. So you want to not only see kind of what your options are to paint and to sell, but then you decide which one's going to be the best for you, okay? Because you're doing this, if this is a side hustle and something you're doing, you want it to be something you enjoy, and you want it to be something you're interested in that resonates with you. And so, first of all, think about what styles do you like? Which things are you most likely to want to create and to want to buy and sell? And gravitate towards those kinds of things. So think about what's selling, not only what's selling in your area, but what you're most interested in, what style your home is decorated in, because this is also an important one that you may not think about. If you're going to stage pieces to sell, and this is important, it really helps it sell. It helps if your home and the things you have in it, the accessories or the side pieces, are, kind of going to jive with the thing that you're selling. It will just help. It'll make it much easier for you to stage it and take pictures. In my home, my husband's style is pretty traditional. Mine is a little more like bohemian, but that's still traditional based. It's like traditional furniture, maybe with a few coats of paint on it or funky upholstery or something like that. And so in my home, I can stage pieces that are farmhouse, which kind of goes with a semi-traditional looking style. I can stage pieces that are kind of traditional or even a little bit French country. I can stage pieces that are kind of bohemian. That will go with like my wall texture and colors and the kinds of accessories and things that I have. I can do that. But what I have found is when I try to paint a piece that's kind of super modern or minimal, it's hard for me to stage it very well in my home. It ends up being a lot more trouble to try and figure out how to take a good picture that looks like this is in a home where you would be using this piece of furniture and everything in it makes sense the way, when you see a picture in an anthropology catalog of a piece of furniture, everything that's styled in that picture looks like, yeah, this all makes sense together. If your home is not decorated in that style, it's going to be a little harder to stage it and to get pictures of it, and you're just going to be less interested in that style because it's not kind of your personal style. So I would advise that you choose something and then go with something that you can get excited about and that you can stage well in your home. The final thing you kind of want to consider in what style you should be doing is your own skill level, because there are some things that kind of require more skills, maybe more skills than what you have right now. So start where you are with the type of furniture painting that will work for you. Maybe you're not in a place where you have a paint sprayer and can use that, and so it might be hard for you to get some of these real smooth modern finishes, but maybe there are other finishes that you can do that will work better for what you have, what your materials are, the place you have to work, and things like that. So keep that in mind when you're choosing what you're going to do. And then my final piece of advice for you after that, once you've narrowed down what you think is the best type of painted furniture for you to do, is focus. Focus on that and study and learn. There are different people on YouTube that do the different styles of furniture, all of which are beautiful and done well. And so I'm going to advise to you some of my favorites kind of in each sort of style so that you can see who you should be following if that's the type you're interested in. And I will link below like a video of each one of them that shows you some of the kinds of things they're doing. And that will help you focus in on kind of what type of thing you should be doing. Because I think if you're all over the map trying 20 different styles, that may not work as well for you as if you kind of focus in, figure out what's best for you, and then go with it and really make your message clear when you're selling things and staging things and looking for things, that you kind of know what your thing is that you're doing. So let me give you a few examples. If you're really into kind of the mid-century modern look, Now, a lot of people have said, oh, mid-century modern, you can't paint that. It has to just be the natural wood. It's true. The majority of mid-century modern furniture is in the wood tones, but there are plenty of painted pieces that look good that are mid-century modern. And a person who does this beautifully is Transcend Furniture Gallery. Check out her channel. She's really good at honoring the vibe and the nature of the mid-century modern pieces. But if they need painting, usually what you do is kind of a combination of a painted part of the case and then leaving the drawers natural, or vice versa, something like that, where you can honor the look of the mid-century modern vibe, but still paint over pieces that are not in good shape anymore. And Transcend Furniture Gallery is a great place to look for pieces like that, because she really knows a lot about refinishing and respects the pieces and keeps them valuable and beautiful. If you're interested in kind of these smooth, painted, usually colored, maybe deep green and black, modern finishes sometimes with special bases on them and things like that, some of the things that are really stylish and selling right now, I would recommend that you check out DIY Wife or Katie Scott. They're both doing a really nice job of that kind of look, and you can see a lot of examples of things it looks like something that you might be seeing in a modern furniture store, and you'll see them sell for a lot of money once they put that effort into them to get a piece that looks like a new piece that you would find at an expensive furniture store. If you are interested in Farmhouse or Chippy or primitive type stuff, and even a little bit of kind of a French country look, then I recommend that you check out Jamie Ray Vintage. She does a great job with this look. That look still sells well in her area, and she has been doing this type of thing. She also sells the products and does a really good job of explaining what products to use to get these kinds of looks on furniture that may not necessarily be super expensive pieces of furniture to begin with, and that's kind of a good place to start if you're trying to learn how to do painted furniture. I'm here in Texas. We're down just up the road from Chip and Joanna Gaines, and so this look does still sell here. And if it's still selling in your area, then this is a good place to start if you're trying to do painted furniture to sell. And then finally, if you want to do something that's much more kind of high-end or expensive, or I would say like a French style, a Baroque style, or even some other style of furniture that it is requiring a much more investment of your time, and the piece is going to be more expensive, then I would recommend you check out a channel called Paint with Casey. I will link it below. She doesn't do much on YouTube. She's more active, I guess, on Facebook, but she does these large painted French style armoires and pieces that she found in her area she couldn't sell them for very much, but if she put them on Etsy, she could sell them for thousands of dollars to somebody in, another state or another place. She had a much bigger audience. So once she learned how to ship them across the country, she started making way more money on her painted furniture. So if you're interested in doing something, if your skill level allows you to do something a little more high-end, even if that's refinishing like a mid-century modern piece and you want to try and sell it on Cherish or something like that, check her out, because she talks a lot about how to ship furniture across the country, and that opens your audience up to a much bigger group of people to find what you're trying to sell, if you're trying to sell something that's more expensive, or if you're in a market that's not really big. If you're not in a large metropolitan market where Facebook Marketplace has a big audience, then this is a good option for you to check out. But it needs to be something that's going to be expensive enough that it is worth it for someone to buy it and ship it across the country. So you're going to probably be doing bigger or more elaborate or more expensive pieces. So check her out, Paint with Casey. I will link all these channels below and kind of let you take a look at the ones that might be the most in line with your interests and your abilities. All right, guys, I would love to hear about what pieces of furniture you're painting or are interested in painting, or if you think it's a sin to paint furniture. I would welcome your comments below. Just please be kind. We all love each other here, okay? Have a great day, and I will see you next time.